Hello, everyone. This is the Easy Allies podcast. I'm Kyle Bossman, the Dark Prince of Nerd Media. Joining us this week, Michael Damiani.
How's it going?
Daniel Bloodworth.
Doing good.
Brandon Jones.
Good to hear it.
And making this all happen, Ian Hink.
Hi.
I feel like we just had a little conversation there.
We did.
How pleasant.
Yeah.
Jones, if you would, begin corrections music, please. You collect spirits in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate.
What did you say?
I said stickers.
Oh, stickers. Okay.
But you do collect
I mean,
stickers in one of the other ones. Was it Brawl or...
spirits
say
are
spirits.
basically
So there was a
all-
mode in the 3DS version where you got stickers. Yes.
Yeah.
Smash Run.
So there were stickers at one point.
Yes, there were.
Okay.
There were.
I was
But
talking
yeah,
about the
But,
concept.
but they
yeah,
weren't
not
character
specifically.
stickers. They were like
It's
little
spirits
item
now.
stickers.
While Borderlands 3 does still have recommended levels, it does have a way better level scaling system than I gave it credit for.
Oh yeah,
If you want to bring in your low-level friends into it.
I did some split screen with my wife for the review.
I guess it's bringing your high-level friends into your low-level missions, as opposed to low-level friends into your high-level missions, right? Right?
Either way.
Okay, cool. The origins of EX moves. They're traced back either to Darkstalkers or Street Fighter the movie game, depending on which comments you believe.
Cool.
Which
well,
one came
one is
first?
obviously a much cooler idea than
Yeah.
it came from that movie game.
Yeah. They were called super specials in Street Fighter the movie. So help me out in the comments this week. I know Darkstalkers 1 came out before Street Fighter the movie the game, but I don't know if the EX moves from Darkstalkers were in that first version of the game. It was hard for me to figure this stuff out.
Oh sure.
We're learning through the
Little
corrections.
arcade versions, yeah.
Yeah. The NPD does not track Epic Game Store sales. I don't
Sure.
think I was even aware of that. And so there was probably bumps for Borderlands 3 and maybe Control?
Yeah.
Maybe Control would have made top 20. I doubt it. But yeah, Borderlands 3 definitely affected.
But is that a thing that's like going to take a while, or is that just, no? They're
No,
not
they
going
just
to.
don't have
They're
those
just
numbers.
outside of that.
Yeah.
I feel like you got to negotiate. I feel like NPD's got to walk in and say, please.
Yeah, I think if I was Epic, I'd want to show off.
Yeah.
Or not, maybe. I don't.
Yeah, or not. What if they have something to hide? Do you think
No,
they're
but they've
hiding?
given a lot of stats and stuff. Like they've done some
Whoa.
bragging about.
I don't like
some of
stats,
that.
Blood.
Piscatella said.
What do you say?
PC sales and stuff.
What do you call it?
2019.
The war of the services?
War of the services
Yeah.
didn't turn out to be what they expected.
Mm-hmm.
So, maybe that's another reason Epic doesn't want to reveal them.
I have a lot of games on Epic. I have never bought any of them.
Yeah.
They're all free, but I
Yeah.
got a lot of them.
Oh,
My
boy.
library's stacked.
What a weird time
That's
we live
what-
in. This
I know.
has to end. This must end. I don't like that, Jones.
I got a lot.
We got to talk about Seeds of Genova. This is actually super interesting to me.
Yeah, I'm curious about this. I was waiting for this one.
So, Ian, Seeds of Genova is somebody's cool idea for what the Kingdom Hearts 3 DLC should have been. But
What the hell?
But the way they delivered this was by making a fake wiki page for it.
That's insane.
Yeah, so this is like a whole new...
The whole thing's in past tense, like it actually happened.
Yes, that's what is so fascinating about it. So there is a Muppet world inside of this wiki.
Yeah.
You're right. It talks about all these characters, like you are co-oping with Kermit the Frog. It's just
Wow.
such a fun way to deliver your own fan fiction, basically.
Fun or confusing? Like, why pollute a wiki with falsehoods?
I do wonder if it's meant to be misleading or if it's just like, hey man, this is just my dreams. I'm writing it out.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's really cool to go see it.
Is that allowed?
Seeds of Genova.
Fake wikis.
It's not on Wikipedia, so yeah, it's absolutely allowed.
Well, yeah, it's on the fan wiki.
What is
or
this
whatever.
world we live in, Kyle? When will it stop?
This is Metal Gear Solid 2, man.
Fake wikis.
This is what they warned us about.
This is what they warned us about.
And the corrections music. Please, time to play Tough Bouncers. This is where all of the Easy Allies, of course, own the hottest club in LA.
We all
for
co-own it.
Video game characters.
We all have equal percentage in this. If this thing goes belly up, we're all involved. It's not just like
Exactly.
Ian's going to take a hit or something.
Yes. But it's up to all of us collectively as well to say no to some of the popular video game characters who want to get in.
That are on this podcast right now.
Our club is just too packed.
Right.
It's too packed. So yeah, these have to be group decisions for us
I
to
like
be
the idea
bouncers.
too that like Thursday nights is the night. Saturday night it's pretty timid in there.
Yeah.
But Thursday nights is
This is
really
the
when
night.
really when it's just too much. We are at capacity.
So I think we got one gimme this week. This week I'm just going to let this one in, unless you say otherwise. Because this is about capacity. So Sponge J nominated Chibi Robo. If he gets in, he'll help make sure the club stays clean and even help deal with the smaller issues you might not have time to take care of.
Sure.
Yeah.
I think Chibi Robo's small enough for us to be like, come on.
Yeah, I wonder if Chibi's gonna like draw a crowd though. You know, I wonder if people are gonna see him on a table. Oh, look, it's Chibi, and then those people see the other people looking at something. What are they looking at? So they go over and they can't see it, and then
But could you
before or later, you're
imagine-
like, what is that? What are they all looking at? And you go over and you can't even tell.
We
So
put
it's
him up on the big
Chibi
screen.
seems like a
Jones.
bottleneck. I got to be honest. I'm
We
just
put
throwing
him
that
up-
out there.
We put him up on the big screen then. And
Okay.
then everybody can see him.
Okay, get a good look.
Yeah.
But I can also just like imagine Chibi Robo coming over to your table when like when you're done with the drinks and it's like
Cleaning up.
yeah, just
Yeah.
Yes.
you know, like putting whole glasses into his little compartments.
We should
somehow.
just hire this guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I was wondering. It sounds more like he's gonna be working.
Would be
for
worried
us.
about people knocking him over and stuff,
Stepping on it.
knocking over the drinks and stuff, because they're dancing and stuff, and just
Yeah.
don't see Chibi and just like, whoops, I'm sorry, Chibi.
Yeah.
So a lot of mess potential and hazard, wet floor, slippery.
No, he's
hazard.
got all the tools to clean up that mess.
That's the thing is Chibi Robo. We don't have to pay because the hearts that he gets from people loving his cleanups
Yeah.
is basically his currency.
Does Chibi know what's going on though? Like, does Chibi know what a nightclub
Yeah.
is?
Yes, of course.
Okay.
Yes, of course.
Okay.
Yeah.
He doesn't just like understand what filth is or what broken things are, and then like that's kind of the extent of his IQ.
He understands humanity.
He knows how to get down.
Yeah.
So he's not just gonna
Better
be-
than many of us, I think.
Okay. Cool. Cool.
All right, I want to let Chibi in. I feel like that's a freebie.
It's worth the risk.
He's like 3 or 4 inches tall. You know,
yeah.
just like get
Small risk.
Chibi in there.
Yeah.
Here's the tricky situation.
Okay.
Our next two come from B-Ray and Dark Pikachu. First character is Faith from Mirror's Edge. The reason she's got to get in is that our door is red.
No.
She just ran at it like.
Our other option is Wario from Wario Land.
Ooh.
Reason being, he has a blind date with Mayor Pauline, but he's a bit late, and now she's already in the club. We
Yeah.
let her in last week.
Yeah.
And it's raining outside.
I wonder if Wario doesn't get in, if that's a bad sign for us in general. I wonder if he's not going to just shrug that off. He's going to come back and, you know.
I'm trying to think
Do
of who's
something.
actually going to create more of a scene. Because I just feel like Faith would just like bust in the door, like run across the table, like swing from some chandelier or something, and everyone's just going to like be stopped and stunned. And...
She'll be doing stunts when she gets in,
Yeah.
for sure. Yes.
But Wario, I mean, he's not holding in those farts.
Well, I brought up smell before, but it doesn't really seem to be a factor.
Yeah, because Chibi's just gonna be sucking
There
it
are
in.
people going in, yeah.
around. He just follows. Chibi assigned to Wario the whole
Yeah,
time.
we assign him.
follows
We
around.
assign him.
He
Yeah.
has nothing
That's
to clean
not
up
a bad
a fart.
thought.
That's
not gonna
Chibi.
work.
You just tell Chibi you're gonna do that. You are designated. You stick on Wario. You do not let a single ounce of gas escape from this area. Yeah, and Faith's just gonna be in and out really quick. She's just gonna run through.
Also,
Yeah.
much,
She's gotta
much
get
like
in and out.
much like Agent 47, like she's gonna get in regardless.
She's gonna find some way through
bust
the vents.
through
Through the
that
red
door. Yeah,
door.
all the
Yeah.
vents are red.
Yeah.
She's
Doesn't
just gonna
matter if
bust
they're
in.
red.
Yeah.
The whole point of that is like find the alternate routes. The ones that aren't even colored, just like the white path.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we can have our cake and eat it too.
So we're letting Wario
We're
in.
potentially having 3 characters in. On
We're
top of
assigning
all of it.
Chibi to Wario.
Right.
Yes.
And we're just presuming Faith will find a way in through the roof.
Right.
Okay.
Yes.
All right,
Yeah.
lock
Yeah.
that
It's
in.
the best
It's
option.
been decided. Time for news. Do you remember my favorite way to start a podcast?
We do.
A new game announcement.
Oh.
And we got one. Oh, we actually got one this week. It happened just 2 hours ago. This
Okay.
one is very hot out of the oven. The Behemoth is the studio who made a new game announcement. It's funny, they call it Game 5.
Yeah.
Wait,
They're
can we do
It's like
this?
Quentin Tarantino. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's like
exactly.
they're gonna make 10 games.
So it's Alien Hominid, it's Castle Crashers. After that's Block Buddies, Block Theater,
Battle Block Theater.
Battle Block Theater.
Nice.
Yes.
Good one, Wood.
Then
People.
Pit People.
And this
which-
is it. This is fun.
This is Game 5. And this game is Alien Hominid. I forgot this. Invasion.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yes, Alien Hominid Invasion. No colon. And let me actually just read their tweet. This is their description of it. We're excited to share our next game in development, Alien Hominid Invasion. The reinvention of Alien Hominid HD will feature new gameplay, progression, mechanics, and more. Stay tuned for more details at PAX,
Oh, whoa.
which is this weekend, I guess?
Yeah, Alien Hominid HD like already happened though, right?
Right, what a weird thing to say. This is a reinvention of Alien Hominid
Yeah, that
HD.
makes it sound real weird.
It does.
It doesn't make it sound like Game 5.
That sounds like a port.
Yeah.
I wish they didn't describe it this way.
That's a weird way to describe it.
yeah.
Especially considering we haven't
yeah,
seen
unless they
gameplay,
mean
gotta
like
wait.
the lessons they learned from doing the HD port I don't know what they changed other than maybe making it HD. Did they change anything else?
So they definitely changed the one thing we got from the trailer is that they've changed the character model at least. It's cuter. It's smoother and cuter, I guess.
And a bunch of them run in. It's called Invasion, so it's like maybe there's more co-op, or there's just a lot of different types of hominids.
I feel like it's just like a weird misspeak. Like I feel like this is a new game.
Yeah.
Entirely.
That's what I'm scared of, Blood, is that, PAX happens this weekend. People get to play it, which I love. Just announce it 2 days later, let people play the game. And then it's like, hey, no environments are the same. This is not at all like Alien Hominid HD. I bet that's happening this weekend. Mm-hmm. And so I don't want to dwell on it too much, for sure.
PAX East is this weekend, you sure?
I think no.
PAX East is not this weekend.
No.
Oh, when is it? When's PAX East?
It's like the end of February.
I think so, yeah.
Oh. Okay. I don't know why I made that assumption. I feel like
February
one of us said that.
27th to March 1st.
Okay. All right.
go.
So we got to wait a month for this to be disproven.
But they have been getting really clever with and just different, unique with all of their different genres, and this is definitely going back. Even I think Hominid makes Castle Crashers kind of like look more like a classic RPG and not so much of a brawler, because Hominid is just you just run around and shoot stuff.
You die in one hit, right?
Yeah. And so it's kind of fun for them to get back to their roots.
Yeah, I think Pit People it took a long time. Mm-hmm. I feel like it set him off track a long time. And this is a cool studio, and it was a bummer that game, like Game 4, took so long. And I can't speak to its success, but I don't think it was as huge as their others.
Did Castle Crashers come out on Switch?
It did.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's a tempting game. I never finished Castle Crashers. It's tempting to go back.
Yeah, lots of cool. I love the characters. Unlocking characters in that game is really fun.
So this could be a really great Switch title.
Yeah, I think it's playing to their strengths for sure. So yeah, that's a cool announcement. Not too much to go off of though until the end of February. Huh. Okay. Okay. So our other news this week is the quarterly reports for 3 big companies: Nintendo, EA, and Microsoft. All said how much money they've earned so far of the first 3 quarters of fiscal year 2020. There's different things to pull from each of these. I struggled to figure out which to start with. Maybe EA is the juiciest. No, Nintendo is. You're right. Who am I kidding? Nintendo's the juiciest. So yeah, that's the. Oh, Bloodworth's like, what? Come on. So let's talk about Nintendo Bloodworth.
I didn't expect any of these to be juicy. So yeah.
Exactly, because it's just like what does it mean that the Nintendo Switch has sold more than 54 million consoles?
I mean, it means it's either about to pass or soon will pass Xbox One's lifetime sales.
Yes.
That's what I've seen people saying today, although they don't really have a number for Xbox.
Yeah,
right.
And
that is a secret.
It's back ahead of the curve now. It's back on track for that 100 million prediction. So
they had a good winter. They had a good fall holiday season.
Like all the things they revised up again. Mm-hmm. Like all their numbers went up for the Switch sales. So that's good news for them.
Sure.
Mario Kart 8. I think the biggest story was Pokemon Sword and Shield.
Yes.
If we really want to get into the juicy stuff, Kyle,
yeah.
Pokemon Sword and Shield is just like...
Blood, guess how many millions?
In 1.5 months, how much has it sold?
How many millions?
Worldwide.
8?
Nope.
Jones, how many millions?
12.
Ian,
Nope.
how many millions?
20.
Okay, closest. 16.
Okay.
Actually, tied with 12. 16 mil, which already has exceeded the lifetime sales of 2 other Pokemon games.
Wow.
16 million.
Yeah.
And it's like, I think only, not Black, White, not XY. What was the one after Black and White?
X and Y was after Black and White.
One after that.
Then it was
It's only
Ruby and Sapphire.
Yeah, it's only behind. No, it's
remakes.
It was maybe it's Sun and
and
Moon.
then Sun and Moon came after that.
There's only one recent series in the last 10 years that it's behind its lifetime sales just on that, which is insane.
Probably X and Y then. I think X and Y of the last 10 years is the most successful one.
I want to say Sun and Moon.
Go ahead and say Sun and Moon.
I think it's Sun
buddy.
and Moon.
Go ahead and say
think
Sun
so.
and Moon. Okay.
But I mean, yeah. The juicy part is everyone was like, "Oh, you didn't put all my Pokemon in there.
Oh my God.
You're gonna reap what you sow." Game Freak and Pokemon Company. Look at your sales when we're done here, and you're just like, "Yeah, about that. A lot of sales."
So I don't think that's a fair personification.
I know.
It could also be like, "Oh man, my Pokemon aren't in this one, and then it sells 16. You know what I mean? Like I
Oh,
can.
they got hoodwinked.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean they
Oh.
could be disappointed.
Oh,
All the same.
Okay.
Just like, oh man, look, they're
I'm
not
trying
gonna
to
ever
think-
learn this lesson.
I'm trying to think what that is for me, truthfully, because like I do enjoy Pokemon, but like maybe that's GTA, but like I haven't been that disappointed. It's interesting to be upset because the franchise that you get on such a regular basis isn't as good as you want it to be. Where there's so many people out there that like their favorite franchise is gone. You know, if you're like a Castlevania fan, you're like, well.
Yeah,
you know,
I
Cry Me
hear
a
you.
River, man. You know, like I'd much rather have a weird Castlevania game than nothing.
I think honestly,
Or I don't know.
It,
Fair. Not fair.
it shows the staying power. It shows that they can do what they want, and this series is going to sell. It's
Yeah.
going to sell,
Clearly.
and that no matter what kind of overreaction you think happens to any of the decisions they make, the honest thing is to play safe and like do what they want to do, and it works. It works, and it's going to sell. And man, the fact that they said that it's gonna have DLC. They might be taking a break from another like mainline entry this year, so it's going to give this game room to breathe.
Yeah.
This has a real shot to be like the best-selling Switch game of the Switch's life.
In an odd way, it's kind of like an indication that like if there's this many people upset at the game, then there's probably a lot of other people out there that are ready just to buy it that don't actually care about that stuff.
I mean, I think that's it.
Because you know it's like it's most of the time these kind of things are going to be a vocal minority, and if that vocal minority seems gigantic, then that just means that like the majority is even bigger.
I think when you try and judge things by whether it's social media or on just like the online reaction to things, you're you're not including a significant part of people who buy and play these games.
Yeah.
Even if they are just like lurkers who speculate and don't actively participate in the discussion. This is what this shows: is that there are a lot of people out there who just love Pokemon, and maybe what you're so passionate about Pokemon doesn't equate to why they're passionate about the series.
Yeah.
And I think this shows that there are just a lot of people out there that love Pokemon and will keep playing it, no matter like these things they don't care about.
So I want to say that what Damiani said is not actually that crazy. So we're at 16 mil for Pokemon right now after just the 1 quarter of it existing.
Yeah.
Mario Kart's at about 23 mil, very close to 23 mil. So it's very far back, Damiani. It would take a lot of it to keep those kind of legs, Mario Kart kind of legs, but it's not unfathomable.
But wait, did you say it was second out of Pokemon games? Is that what you were trying to say?
Second out of recent Pokemon games.
Oh, okay, yeah, because it's like way behind almost all of them.
Oh, hit us with some more Pokemon games.
Okay. Pokemon Ruby /Sapphire /Emerald 22.5 million. Pokemon Diamond Pearl Platinum 24.7. Pokemon Sun Moon Ultra Sun Moon 24.8. Pokemon Gold Silver Crystal 29.49.
You know what's not fair is they include that third one.
Red, Green, Blue, Yellow 47.5.
47.5? Okay, it'll never be
Well,
the
I mean,
it'll never be one.
Sword and
Clarification.
Shield will never have that third one. So.
All the discussion that they put forth was launch window, same time frame.
It's had the
1.5
highest
that one-
launch.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what they were.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
yeah, I
what
think
we're
it's
judging
fair to
against.
include all three because they
And
are
Do the DLC
kind of
for
all
this
part
one.
of the same, you know, explosion, I guess, or
Okay.
genesis.
I realistically don't think it'll. I think unless there's a Mario Kart 9 that comes out, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe will hands down probably win.
Yeah,
it's roughly selling about 7 million a year.
Yeah.
and I think if it will carry that momentum for at least another year or two, probably, barring a Mario Kart 9.
Yeah, Nintendo put out a lot of games this year. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe was its second best-selling game of the year still. Just beating out all those new games. Yeah.
After what, Pokemon?
crazy.
Yeah, right second after Pokemon. Yeah, actually, I kind of want to, let's see if we can play a game with this Nintendo stuff, because it's actually interesting how many new releases they had in the year. I kind of want to see if we can rank, even Damiani having looked at this stuff, I'm going to test you as well, if we can rank the sales. Because I love that Nintendo is very rare in that it tells you specifically how well a game sold.
Sales by what time frame again? Sorry.
By this point of the third quarter, 2019 games that came out last year.
Oh, so what they sold in the last quarter?
Yes. No, where their lifetime sales are.
Oh, lifetime sales.
Lifetime sales.
So I mean, number one should be Mario Kart.
Number one is Pokemon Sword and Shield. We already said that.
No, but Mario Kart has more sales in it.
Oh, new games.
Oh, okay.
New releases.
Okay, so only new releases.
Yeah. So yeah, there's no Breath of the Wild, no Super Mario Odyssey.
Oh, okay, Fire Emblem.
Fire Emblem sold well, but it sold like what, 3.58?
2.58.
Sorry.
Yeah.
It
So
needs
Fire
to-
Emblem did not do crazy compared to some of these other games, which is really
But
interesting to me.
it is either now or will soon be the best-selling game in that series. which is
Yeah.
huge. Better than Awakening, better than Fates. So it's like, yeah, it's on an upward trend.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Good one to bring up, though, Jones. That was cool. Do we have any more that we want to throw out?
Astral Chain sold over 1 million, so it was not a flop.
Oh, wow.
So
Not a flop, but it's at the bottom. At the bottom of the...
still Astral Chain.
At the bottom of the
sold
pit.
over 1 million. Marvel Ultimate Alliance sold over 1 million.
Yeah.
That's a big one, and that's causing an inflammatory thing because, like, Marvel fans. I saw someone post about it selling about. It's getting all the support and stuff where like roughly Marvel Infinite sold about the same amount, but like it got abandoned and stuff. So what does that like say? And it's like, I mean, but this was a worthy investment. Like Nintendo would not invested the time into this game, but they didn't think it'd sell, and it sold 1 million. Like 1 million's nothing.
Astral Chain, you mean?
No, Ultimate Alliance as well.
Oh, you're happy with that?
Yeah, it's selling that much, and only on Switch. Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Luigi's
was-
Mansion 3 would be the other obvious one for
Luigi's
last year.
Mansion 3 owned Jones.
Great.
Yeah,
So Luigi's
really
Mansion
more than-
3 is at 5.37 million.
Wow.
That's crazy.
That's awesome.
That is true madness.
Yeah.
So it's better than Link's Awakening. Link's Awakening was 4.19 mil.
yes.
That's crazy. It's
Which-
better than Super Mario Maker 2, which is at 5.04 mil.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when I think a year ago, I think we didn't even hear about Super Mario Maker 2 yet, but I would have assumed I would assume Mario Maker would have done better on the Switch than a new Luigi's Mansion.
Easily, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think
probably would have made that bet.
It doesn't have the kids
Mario Maker doesn't have the kids?
that Luigi's Mansion might. I think Luigi's Mansion and Link's Awakening, well, maybe not Link's Awakening, but Luigi's Mansion probably gets like tweens more than Mario Maker.
I'm not ready to start
I think
I don't know
guessing what the
that,
tweens
but-
are up to.
I think New Super Mario Bros. U sold more than Super Mario Maker 2, which also was a new release last year.
Oh, you're right. I didn't include that
You
one
didn't
because it's
include
a
that
remake.
one. I mean, you can take what you want from that, but I think it shows that maybe general Switch audience would rather just play the Mario stuff than create the Mario stuff.
Or
Like, yeah.
that it's just, it was a hot, trendy thing, and now it's like there's still like a passionate audience, but like a lot of other people are just like, they just moved on. Yeah.
Brutal.
How many did that gross remake sell?
No. Okay, so hold on. So Super Mario Maker is at 5.04 million. That gross remake is at lifetime 5.8.
Yeah, that's a failure.
Yeah, it'll get surpassed.
Yeah.
What grocery make?
The new Super Mario Bros. U.
Yeah.
5.8's more. It's 5.8 million.
Yeah, but that's its lifetime.
Yeah, horrendous.
It's gonna get surpassed. Don't worry about it.
That gross thing outsold Super Mario Maker 2, and
Not in the year though. So like
Yeah, Mario Maker 2's been around for half a year. That
so
thing's
new
been
Super
around
Mario
for
Bros.
years.
U did 2.5 mil in this fiscal year
I'm saying it
so
shouldn't
far.
even, like if it was as big as it's gonna be, like you think it's gonna, what it was gonna do, it should have done it by now.
I won't hear this.
I don't think it has the legs you think it's gonna have.
You're right though.
I don't
I
think
thought
that's the
I
legs
thought
you
Mario
think it's
Maker was
gonna
going to
have.
explode on the Switch. I thought the Switch would be a good platform for it.
It's
and-
like Super Mario
I
Party.
mean, it's still 5 million. It's pretty.
I know it's a lot,
It's
but like,
pretty good.
It also shows like Super Mario Party. That game sells a lot, and where's the support for that game?
Where is Super Mario
Yeah,
Party?
do we have Mario Party on there?
Oh yeah, so Super Mario Party sold 2.7 mil in this quarter, and it's close to 10 total. It's at 9.1.
Is it
lifetime.
9.1 million?
Yeah, lifetime.
What the heck are they doing?
Yeah,
There'll
Yeah,
never
why are
there'll
they
never
not-
be DLC for that.
Why are they not putting? Why
It
are they?
Let's
maybe,
make another
it maybe have something to do with what they think about the audience.
Yeah, I agree.
That like they're not going to buy DLC for this game. They're just going to pull it out randomly. And I mean, I think that's one of the issues that I've kind of run into with Mario Parties, because like you only play it when you have a group of people, and that's so rare that you end up not even playing everything that's there to begin with. So yeah, I get I can kind of see the psychology behind that a little bit.
Sure.
Well,
Yeah, I don't think that'll ever be updated down the
But
line.
this Mario Party was kind of a disappointment, right? Like,
Absolutely.
yeah, like not much to it.
I think it's an improvement over
Yes.
the weird Bowser one that was on Wii U.
Right.
oh yeah, that one.
Yeah.
But
The one,
still,
is that the one with the car? With the car?
yeah.
Yeah.
It's one of the ones
we were
with the car.
pleased with it. Yeah, but
Yeah.
the franchise
That-
can still do more.
It was inoffensive but underwhelming.
Link's Awakening sales aren't bad though.
Not bad.
No, they're not bad.
No, I don't think they're bad.
You know what? They're not bad. That's a remake. It's
It's a remake, yeah. and
Like
it
the
sold-
budget they put on that.
and in its lifetime,
yeah.
it'll probably outsell the Wind Waker. Yeah, and it either has or will have. It sold the Wind Waker and Skyward Sword. Switch power. Hey, just tell them to put the Wind Waker on Switch, and then they'll win again.
Yeah, it will.
There you
Honestly,
go. That's
yeah.
all you need to do.
Let's just move that. One last thing I want to talk about with Nintendo. I don't think it's fair any longer to call it a console. To say this is a console, I don't think it's fair anymore because of the Switch Lite, which does not even connect to a TV. It's strictly, this thing is handheld first at this point.
No, it's a hybrid.
It's not a hybrid. Tell me the Switch Lite is a hybrid.
I mean, the Switch Lite specifically is not a hybrid.
And Switch Lite
But the
sales are
Switch-
included in Switch sales.
Yeah, but the Switch is a console. Hybrid.
I don't think there's any point in making it.
Yeah, when you're speaking in generalities, you talk about the Switch, you call it like a hybrid or a console. That's more correct. If you're going to talk about the Switch Lite, you call that a portable system. And if you want to get the most specific, I think it's contextual, Kyle. You just talk about a case-by-case situation. But I mean, the Switch docks and plays with consoles, and there are more Switch units out there than Switch Lites, so like it's predominantly a...
Also, to me, in a weird way, like that's not even like the important part about distinguishing those markets, because while yes, the Switch is not as powerful as a PS4 or PS5, like it basically plays the same kinds of games.
Yeah.
Like you're not having to go to like the mobile game design or like a Game Boy game design or something like that. Like no, you're playing this exact same kind of games you would play on a different console. They just don't look as pretty.
And you know what? It's also around the same price. And I think it's around a console's price. And that is probably a differentiator. Nintendo never had a handheld that cost $350, right? And so you can say that, like, hey, it is still doing better than like a handheld would have. How much was a 3DS when it launched? Was that 300 flat?
250?
250. Okay.
250 or 279, I forget. Probably 250.
Yeah. So yeah, they've never had a handheld that costs this much. So I guess you could make the argument easily that hey, like this thing is.
Yeah, I mean it's kind of I mean I can see that argument. It's also
$249.99.
It's also a little weird because like even like the big boy consoles, if you want to call them that, like iPhone stuff costs more than the consoles. So it's like mobile phones cost more. So I mean.
So you could make this argument that
it's like you're doing this weird.
Why I would do that, Damiani, is you could make the argument that hey, Game Boy games were just cheaper. You know, like the 47 Pokemon games were sold; those cost $30. Big whoop. You know, a Game Boy was $100 or less, and so you could say that like, oh, they got those much sales because they were a cheaper product. And I don't think it is. Now that I think about it, I don't think it is fair to say that about the Switch because it is not a cheaper product. You're still spending $60 on your Pokemon games. You're still spending $350 or $300 on your console.
Plus, like getting full price games.
Yeah,
Pokemon is such a weird case too because they cheat by putting out two versions of the same game every time and then re-releasing them the next year.
I mean, yeah, the re-releasing in the third version, you could argue that, but
it's done.
The whole I've read a lot on like the whole origin of the two game thing, the debate whether whether or not it's fair or not and stuff like that, and it's interesting to see because it was like a planned thing, The whole thing to get you to trade and stuff like that, where nowadays it's like the people get fed up, like, why do I need two versions and stuff? Well,
yeah. And it's just a psychology
Why do
thing.
I need friends?
Yeah. Bro, blood. It's brutal,
like
dude.
On your cheerful Nintendo console.
I want to talk about I do want to talk about EA. EA has had a good year so far. Star Wars sold better than they expected.
Yeah.
So we don't have an exact
Things
number.
are looking up.
Their estimate was between 5 and 8, and so all of it said it's at the higher end of that estimation.
yeah.
So we think it's
specific.
at least closer to 8 than it is to
I
5.
thought we were at 8, but yeah.
Yeah.
So 6.6 or something.
8 cents over the line.
Yeah, it's like as high
66
as it
million.
could, or
Big
low
up.
as it could be.
Just round it up.
Yeah, I mean the Star Wars marketing machine right now is just crazy. Anything Star Wars is gonna get attention just because of everything. Like, yeah, Rise of the Resistance getting all the ads,
Right.
Mandalorian getting all the buzz. You got the movie, like it's just
Movies on a decline though.
Yeah, just anything but
Sure,
anything
but
but
it's like
movies.
just-
Even
it's
like,
like
even the Obi-Wan
flood of
series, it
Star
got delayed,
Wars
but it's still,
awareness.
people are still
Yeah.
anticipating it. Oh God, they got the sideshow, got the
$350
life size, $350 for just the life size Baby Yoda. Finally,
Looks
like the life
legit.
size, realistic with the with the cloth and everything. I was just like,
It's
oh,
legit.
I saw that on Twitter. It was like, click
Nope.
$350. Oh.
No,
So
don't do
brutal.
it.
At
There's
what
no
price-
way.
what
There's
price
just a
would you have said
console.
yes?
That is a video game console.
Yeah,
That's
what-
the PlayStation 5 or a thing that will sit
That's
on your
not-
desk.
I got to
It's
know
like,
how much I have to turn down the price for Jones to say yes to it. $150.
No, yeah, it'd have to be under 200.
150
It'd
would
have
do
to be
it?
under 200. Yeah, 150. I'd probably because it just is the cutest thing.
Oh my god.
It looks so great.
It's funny to me
yeah.
to
People,
like
I've seen
go
like some
full life
Etsy
size.
versions.
So.
The
I've seen people
hair.
make them from home.
Yeah.
Like as much as I love Baby Yoda, a freaky looking Baby Yoda is like the opposite of Baby Yoda. It's
Yes.
like no. That needs to look like it does in the show. Even the concept art I thought looked a little weird. It's
Oh,
like
yes,
it's
it
like
does.
the thing they made for the show. That's when it all came
They're
together.
getting complaints. People are saying it's Uncanny Valley for a puppet doll. Because it looks so real, but it's lifeless because it's a doll just staring back at you.
Yeah,
You
the
want it to
fact-
move?
Disturbing. Yeah,
Yeah.
people want it to
Those
move.
giant eyes just
If
staring at
it were a puppet, like if it had
Yeah.
the obviously not
His
as
mouth moved,
advanced
or you
as
could
the
move his head
show,
around.
yeah. But if it had like controls, then maybe.
Yeah, but we can never have the
So
puppet.
everybody
'cause
saw everybody
George
saw
Lucas stole it.
Lucas with the Baby Yoda. I want to know what Frank Oz thinks of that Baby Yoda. I want a picture with Frank Oz with the Baby Yoda. That's what I want to see.
I bet he loves it.
We need a $3,000 animatronic version now.
What?
I'd
Yeah,
buy
that you
that.
plug in. It's like, at least blink. At least make it blink.
Yeah.
Yeah, just add a little extra onto that. So, okay, EA, really good year. They did kind of mention in passing Need for Speed Heat and what was the other launch? Plants vs. Zombies,
Yeah.
Naperville.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think they were huge successes, right? They didn't get as specific as they did with Star Wars.
Battlefield had some DLC, right?
Need for Speed
Yeah.
Heat's marketing was weird. I mean, like, aside from the game not like being great, there was a pretty good reception from fans,
Really?
but the marketing just wasn't there. Like, people didn't really have a clear picture of that game.
Would you have spent a lot of
until,
money
like,
to sell that?
right ahead of? I mean, it's like historically it's been gigantic for EA.
But is that like Mario Kart gigantic, where you don't?
It
need
was.
To, you don't need to sell.
It absolutely
right,
was.
Right, but I don't see a lot of Mario Kart commercials. Like, do you need to sell it
They do Mario Kart commercials.
to
Yeah,
people?
they definitely do.
But Jones, I think I bet like inside of EA, right? They have those consultants, they have research, and Blood, I bet it just was not tracking well. And just like movies that are just not tracking well, they just kind of, okay, let's just kind of put this out. Because it is so marketing is so expensive. Yeah.
Sure. It's just funny something like that like, whether it wasn't ready or they just decided not to like even mention that it was coming at E3.
I bet if I was on the team, I'd feel a little shafted. I would feel slighted by EA, for sure. Because I think when you're working on a game, when you start Need for Speed Heat, you don't know that you're going to be a brushed under the rug kind of game. I don't think that was the original
Right.
intent, right? And so I bet that is disappointing. Yeah. Though, Blood, I feel
It
like
doesn't look particularly good either.
yeah,
That's the other
I think
thing
it
that
did
gets
as
to
good
me,
as
yeah.
it could have. I think that game did what it could,
Yeah.
It did about as well as that game probably could have for what it is.
I saw Fallen Order pre-rolls just everywhere.
Yeah, in movie
That
theaters.
game. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I wonder
That's
if
where
they
the budget
picked. They
went
had their
to.
two marketing campaigns, and they picked the lowest one for Heat and the highest one for Fallen Order, and just, that's where that money went.
Yeah, so I kind of
Smart
want to talk
money.
about this because they are talking about their future. They talk about their investments. Most of their money comes from digital still, and a lot of that is from live services, those types of games. And they're talking about up a new Battlefield game, which they'll say will come fiscal year 2022, which means their new Battlefield game won't happen until 2021. And I kind of expected them like, oh, okay, they alternate with Star Wars. Time
Yeah,
for a
yeah,
new
yeah.
Battlefield this year. No new Battlefield this year is kind of what that means.
I'm not surprised.
Want some time with the new consoles.
Yeah.
Don't want to be at the launch. Have issues, maybe.
They were at the launch of the Xbox One and the PlayStation
know.
4, and they were huge.
Maybe this is reevaluating things.
Yeah. And so, panel, what I want to ask is, what do you think the big fall EA title is?
Yeah, that's a good question.
I mean, so Madden and FIFA are in, and that's always a huge thing with a new console launch. You're like, oh, let me see the new graphics, the new whole
Right.
generation.
Yeah, they'll definitely lean on those.
With Anthem crashing as hard as it did, though, how much of a detour can you do? Can you really?
They
dream-
do have Dragon
can
Age.
you really
They have teased Dragon Age already. Yeah, I don't know how
Didn't they
soon it
say
will
they-
be. I think they'll
But-
probably go back
Yeah,
to the drawing board a
That
bit,
studio's
but
not in good shape right now.
And they said like they had like what 15 projects in development during this.
A lot, yeah.
That's a
But when
lot,
you break them
yeah.
down, it's a lot. Like half of those are sports games still.
Yeah.
It is a lot of the EA I forget what it's called. The EA indie games. What is that called?
Yeah, originals.
Oh,
EA original.
yeah.
Nice,
Yeah.
Jonesy. Yeah. So I think like 2 or 4 of those.
But
are
I could see them
EA
coming at
originals.
next.
They
gen
were doing
hard, but
something else
at
with
launch.
Sorry, that was
Next
2
gen?
questions. what was Jones's question?
EA launch for next gen. I don't know. I don't know
I
if, I don't
have
know
a
if they'll
guess.
be there this year.
I have a guess.
Joseph Ferris is working on something, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
He is working on a follow-up thing. So yeah, I don't think that's a big title. So, panel, I think there's going to be another Star Wars game this fall.
Well, the KOTOR remake. rumors are floating.
Oh yeah, I didn't even pick those up for the podcast because
Right.
Oh yeah, it's a KOTOR both, like 1 and 2 put together.
right.
Like,
Reimagining, like to me, that's like I need
like, okay.
I need Schreier to chime in before I'm willing to put it on the podcast.
that would be kind of fun though. That'd be a fun way to shake up a remake, is to have like potentially maybe like a new
Right.
game plus option where like if you beat 1 and then 2, you can go back to 1 with all of the characters and just like goof
What
around.
was the
It'll be
name of
fun
the
with
other one?
extra
Ragtag
secrets.
or whatever that keeps getting passed around.
So yeah, this is Blood. This is the root of this. This is the root of this. So that was EA Vancouver's game. They got it from they used to do Dead Space.
Right.
Visceral?
Visceral, yeah.
Visceral, right? Visceral was working on that thing. They got some assets from it, and they were making a more multiplayer game. And then that game got canceled. And so what I did was I went back to that article from when it got canceled. Went to Kotaku. Went to my mother bird, Jason Schreier, who plopped this down my throat. So this was back. I think it was like April of last year, and this article was updated. Since the publication of this article, I've talked to several more people familiar with EA Vancouver's now canceled open-world Star Wars game. This project, which was codenamed Orca, was very early in development, but would involve playing as a scoundrel or bounty hunter who could explore various open-world planets and work with different factions across the Star Wars universe. So that's the game that got canceled, and we all lamented that. Big bummer. When EA's top decision makers looked at their roadmap for the next few years, they decided that they needed something earlier than the planned release date for Orca, according to two people familiar with what happened. So they canceled Orca in favor of a smaller scale Star Wars project that's now aimed for much sooner, likely late 2020, which also happens to be around the time that I've heard next-gen consoles will launch. Might be a bit earlier, might be a bit later. From what I've heard, next-gen plans are definitely still in flux.
The Mandalorian.
So
game.
EA took a focused linear narrative game,
Oh God, yes.
told them to make it open world, and then told them to make it smaller and more focused.
Yes.
That's gonna work
All
so
right.
well.
Yeah.
That's gonna work out so well.
This is gonna be real fun to watch whatever this game
you
becomes.
get
Yeah.
another the newest Need for Speed. What happened with that?
Yeah, what do we imagine as a small-scale Star Wars game?
Episodic Mandalorian game.
I mean, it sounds like just another Fallen Order. Like just do what they did.
Fallen Order.
Yeah.
cut
See, this
in
looks
half.
good. Everyone likes this. Do what they are doing.
Shadows of the
But again,
Empire
you can't pivot
remake.
that fast. Like,
What
yeah,
if they
Shadows
like
of the Empire remake.
weren't there rumors that 1313 was actually like pretty much almost done when they canceled it? What if they like
I don't know about that.
what if they like picked up the burning husk of 1313 and then just finished it?
Very unlikely.
It'd be fun.
I'd be
play it.
dope. I'd
That
play
was
it. I'd
that
play it.
very, very old LucasArts assets.
Dust off Amy Hennig's script.
Yeah,
Like,
dust
They
it off.
bring back.
yeah, let's do it. I'd play that game.
No.
Jones, you seem distraught by this.
Yeah.
No, not distraught, just confused. I mean, you have Fallen Order, you have the new lore, new characters that you've created. You got Battlefront, which is like not doing terribly. I mean, you're still
very well.
You're still
Battlefront
releasing
2.
stuff
Yeah,
for
yeah.
it.
They've bounced back on that game.
Wait,
Yeah.
you know what they should do? Just put out like a Baby Yoda Tamagotchi game where you
Right.
just like raise Baby Yoda.
Yeah.
It would sell.
They probably already
billions.
have it out on mobile, and you just don't know about
Oh my
it.
god, it would sell billions.
would
So they
sell
just have anything I can think of would just be a worse version of both of those properties.
Yeah.
So
That's
because I was
exactly
thinking
it.
like, oh, maybe they freaked out on Apex Legends and Fortnite, and so started thinking like, what is there more like a more melee, multiplayer game that we can do?
Yeah.
Where because like with the heroes that you do in Battlefront, what if we just make a hero game? What if we just literally make that like a smaller cartoony version of that?
Yeah, that's what I wonder.
You're just running around.
Would EA consider Apex Legends a small scale game?
I don't think so at this point. They just announced another season or whatever.
Right,
Like,
It's
they've
a hard
got-
company
yeah.
to guess how they scale
I
stuff.
know,
What
exactly.
they think of being
yes.
a big project versus a small project. Because my brain also goes to like a Life is Strange, to again something like that Ferris was doing. That's
Yeah.
just like a
Oh, sure.
smaller Star Wars story. But I don't give EA the credit.
What if-
to,
what
like,
if his game
deliver
was
a
a
cool
Star
story
Wars
or give
game?
that to a fun dev or I don't know.
I would love if Joseph Ferris is doing a Star Wars game.
That'd be crazy.
I think he showed a taste of
It's
it already.
Anakin and Obi-Wan having to escape together.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, they can do something with like what was it, the newest season of Clone Wars or whatever.
Yeah.
They
Oh,
do
that's coming up.
Yeah, they could do something in that.
I see
style.
them also, but I see them wanting, especially in the wake of Mandalorian, all this new stuff. I see them wanting to make their own characters, to be like, no, that's our guy.
Yeah.
That's
because that always works out great,
I mean, it did work for Fallen Order.
yeah.
but not for Battlefront 2.
Yeah.
Well, but meaning Battlefront 2 didn't, oh, never mind. Yeah, it did.
She
Eden
was
Versio
like
and all that stuff.
she's canon.
She's in there.
Yeah.
That character is part
That
of
is
Star
a
Wars
real
canon.
wiki page.
Beloved Star Wars character, that lady.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll see. I don't think EA will let a new console launch without having some big game. I'm not
Right.
sure it is
New
this
game?
small scale Star Wars game, but
You
I
really
think,
can't?
I cannot. No.
Huh.
How could they tell their investors that? Sorry, we're not putting anything out.
I think
I
they
mean-
think they can announce things, and they think that
Seems like a good
makes it
time
a part of the conversation. But it's like once we get these consoles, it doesn't matter what
Considering-
hypothetical games might be coming down the road. Doesn't matter when Dragon Age and like that gameplay I'm not thinking about because I'm playing these consoles now.
It does matter specifically in these types of conversations. It matters entirely. It's like, okay, well, what is for Q4, Q1 of Q2? I need money. I need to know you're making money every quarter.
I know.
Do you think that they would do something like a Mass Effect re-release for PS5 generation?
They don't seem to be that interested in that sort of thing.
Yeah.
It's so weird because they keep Mass Effect alive.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
there is the social media manager for Mass Effect,
yeah.
who's working hard.
Shouting from the rooftops.
But
I
no,
believe
one of the
still.
things that
It's like every day. It's like there's so many Mass Effect holidays every year. They're
Yeah.
like, did you know?
And 7
Oh
Day.
gosh, yeah.
Oh yeah. No, one of the things I was thinking is going back to Need for Speed. Like, yeah, they just put one out, but like Need for Speed has very frequently been a yearly franchise, and so I could very much see that. Like, okay, well, the reason this Need for Speed was kind of rough is it's the B team. The main team is working on PS5 Need for Speed,
Yeah.
Xbox One Series X Need for Speed.
That's not a bad.
Damiani. Pod Racer 3. The trilogy. Make it right.
That would be fun.
Finish the fight and the saga.
The
Yeah.
trilogy comes to a close.
Anakin comes back. Anakin's ghost, right, Bot?
That's the unlockable. Yeah,
He's
when
all
you,
the
when you
ghost.
get, when you
He's
get all the
Ghost
gold
Racer.
medals, that's like the
Star
unlockable
Wars
character.
Ghost Racer.
I would want to be a Sebulba Force
That's
Ghost.
what heaven looks like in the Star Wars universe. Everyone's just pod racing.
You're either in the
Yoda
pod or you're in the
pod.
audience.
Did Mirror's Edge Catalyst was a disappointment,
Yeah,
right? They
I
wouldn't
don't
be
think
doing
they're
a Mirror's
going back
Edge.
to
I don't think they're going back
I
to
don't
that.
think they're going to
Yeah.
greenlight a third one of those.
But I
yeah.
mean, yeah, maybe they try something new. Sounds like new
but
console
then
launch
again,
is the time to like
I'd love
toss
it.
something out.
I'd love that so much.
I mean, their
Something new.
Apex Legend is kind of Plants vs. Zombies. That multiplayer fun, sold enough for that user base. You know,
They're making a lot of Apex Legends money right now, actually.
Yeah, can I throw out one Hail Mary?
Please. Toss it.
Titanfall 3.
Oh.
It's back.
Everything Respawn has said gives
know.
me the implication that is not,
Not
happening.
happening.
Yeah,
I think we're more likely to see Titanfall elements coming into Apex.
Yeah.
Apex Legends Season 2 with Titans.
like I feel like they had a VR project. They're like, hey, we're not going to do that anymore. Let's just make Apex Legends money. You know, I feel like
Oh, that's right.
that
Huh?
happened. I feel like one of the Titanfall projects was delayed out of the year just to focus on Apex. And why wouldn't you? Lastly, I want to talk about Microsoft, who did not have a good quarter.
Oh,
Had
okay.
a dip. I did write down their dip.
they're making a new console.
I think that's exactly it. So
Yeah,
that's the
yeah,
rationale.
They haven't even had like a lot of focus on first-party software.
Yeah, and so, man, I lost that. Hollywood Reporter is where I went to get these headlines this week, actually. Believe it or not. Not bad. Not a bad games writer in there. And so, but I guess what's weird to me about blaming the old console and announcing the new console, because the hardware dip was the biggest. It's way bigger than their software sales dip. Is that I just wonder how much the Xbox Series X is really part of Microsoft's plan, because we talk constantly about how hey man, it's just Game Pass. Like, if you're talking about consoles, you're talking about the wrong thing, old man. And so this would lead me to believe that actually the consoles are truly important. If we're like, hey, this dip is because it's not next gen yet, it tells me like hardware is still incredibly important.
Oh, yeah, I think it is, because I mean, hardware dictates how many people you're going to be able to sell Game Pass to. So
Yeah, and that's the thing is that we always hear about install base. it's just clear that from this dip, I believe Sony may have dipped too. We don't know their financials this week at all. But based off of the NPD stuff that we reported, and that just 2019 generally was all down.
Yeah, hardware was down.
Yeah. But software too. And a big reason for that is just less Fortnite money getting tossed around. When Fortnite dips, everybody dips because they were just so high last year. Also, Red Dead Redemption 2 was blamed as well. We just didn't have a game that reached that height in 2019, which is also crazy. It's crazy that Red Dead Redemption 2 makes Microsoft that much money that they're like, hey, we didn't have that this year, so we made less money.
Right.
We sold fewer consoles. But I feel like, and I think it was proven this generation, that the early adopters spend more money on video games than late adopters. That somebody buying a PS4 today is less valuable than somebody buying a PS5 tomorrow in the eyes of publishers and manufacturers.
Right. Well, and particularly if you're talking about tracking software sales, and I know NPD's moved away from unit sales to money.
Yep.
But Xbox platform in particular is, everything shifting to Game Pass makes it like a weird thing, right? Because if you're the guy who's going to buy an Xbox to get Game Pass, and then you just pay your, $15 a month for Game Pass every month, then you might just be happy and like, oh, yeah, that game looks cool, but I'll just play what I've got right now.
So subscriptions were up.
Yeah.
It was said twice as the quarter before it, doubled their subscribers to Game Pass, which
they're still doing the $1 deal.
Crazy. Yes, and it is still the $1 deal. I wonder, Blood, if once the $1 deal is off, that money just ratchets up like crazy. I don't wonder that. I know that.
Oh yeah.
I know personally, I'm really bad at unsubscribing from services, and I think there are many people like
and
me.
Because when you go right now, because I just got Game Pass for a little bit for some, I was streaming Doom and
so you're just in for a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay,
But
let's
that's
see,
the
let's
thing.
see,
They're
yeah.
pushing Ultimate, right? And Ultimate bundles in your Xbox Live.
Yes.
But like as soon as you do that, it converts like whatever Xbox Live you've got right now into Game Pass Ultimate. So just like it makes like canceling that much harder because like, wait, I just want to go back to regular Xbox Live, but how do I do that? And just like,
You looked into it all that.
For me,
fast.
I'm just going to get Game Pass on its own and not even worry about Ultimate because I'm not going to use the PC version right now. I'll just stick with Xbox.
So then let me ask you personally, do you plan on canceling after your 1 month?
Yeah, after I've played through Doom and Gears 5, then I'm like, yeah, I'll take it away because I've got so much stuff to play constantly,
Huh.
Yeah.
Okay. I think it's weird. I think it's hard to say that. It's easy to say hardware will be down this next quarter and the one after that. Easy to say. Like they're just going to keep dipping. There's no reason to think that it'll go up until the launch of the next consoles. I do think that the Xbox Game Pass revenue might rise over the next 3 quarters.
Yeah. Well, again, because once you're in on Ultimate, it becomes just weird, like sticky trap of like, how do I get out of this? Well, I won't worry about it.
Yeah, and you don't worry about it because you kind of like what you're getting.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, well, I still like these games. I can rationalize this. Yeah, and so I think it'll take a sec. Their headline, by the way, was Microsoft's gaming revenue takes big dive.
Wow.
It was a 21% dip. Decreases in Xbox console sales. So yeah, hardware was 21 dip from this time last year, and software was only down 11% year over year. But yeah, that's the holiday season. That's the season you don't want to see a dip, and so that is a bummer.
Yeah, I see all of the Microsoft conversations being like, look at this tech, look at that library. Game Pass. Like Game Pass is going to be the little cherry on every Sunday of every conversation.
Yeah.
Every time they get up on stage and talk about stuff, every time, at the end of every trailer, it's going to be like, oh, and by the way, you probably own this game already.
Yeah.
You're like, isn't that nice? Because I just think they've set up or tried to set up such a happy vibes of goodwill, that it's interesting. I really feel more than, and I don't know if this is just like cyclical, and I felt the exact same way before the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, but like really feels like both companies are just, closing the garage door and just like settling in for the night, and then they're going to come out so hard at the beginning of next gen. Just looking at all those acquisitions, Hellblade being part of the reveal for the Xbox One, Infinite being a launch game, and then Sony just like taking off from E3, not doing their events anymore, just doing state of plays. it's almost February. Haven't really announced anything yet if they're going to do it next month. And then just like, that's my hope. That would be great. That would be a really fun 2020 if just like there was so much more news we didn't know.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Feels like they're doing that.
So Sony went ham in 2013 on the PS3. I think that was the Last of Us year. And they're going ham this year too, Jones. I mean, there's Final Fantasy VII isn't them, but it's on that console.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The Last of Us
3.
Part 2, RE3, and Ghost of Tsushima all this year, man. Like, to me, they're not closing up shop. They're going hard in this last year of the console.
Yes, they're going hard, but they're going hard because those are excellent games. And I think they knew they were, so as far as like the actual conversation, that's what Xbox doesn't have. That's again why they're playing up all these services and what we're going to give you different versions of the Xbox and anything they can think of that doesn't have to do with some game that you're like, that's probably going to be good because I've either played Final Fantasy VII on the PS1 and look at these amazing trailers or, like now I already played, we'll look at what that Sucker Punch has been gone for so long and they're coming back and they already made a really great game for this system.
I am curious how Game Pass is going to influence like the player base for Bleeding Edge, for instance, right? Because I feel like
I saw a headline that they directly changed how the game will be designed because of Game Pass.
yeah.
They want it to be more welcoming to newer people.
Yeah.
They were there exactly that, Blood. They want to be more accommodating to somebody who's just giving it a shot, who might not even be a fan of the genre.
Because I feel like without Game Pass, Sea of Thieves could have flopped. Sea of Thieves, it came out, people didn't like what was there at launch, and people were like, I'm sick of it, I'm over it.
Yeah.
But because it was there on Game Pass, there was enough of a base of people to keep playing, to keep making that investment worthwhile until they got to the point where like, okay, now Sea of Thieves is like, it's got its own group, it's got its own subculture, it's got a space.
That's what makes me think about Infinite, man. I think there's going to be like a strong campaign component. There's always going to be some story of Infinite that like, that ending, oh my god, that level 70% of the way through. But there's going to be something else in Infinite you can just jump into and run around. Like something you could just jump in and some guy in a Warthog's like, beep, beep, you're going to drive up like GTA Online so they can get as many people. They're like, oh man, I spent an hour in Infinite not doing anything. I was just running around. But man, that world is so cool and it's so much fun. And you're not caught up with like, I'm in the campaign. It's a little tiresome. And my buddy I was playing co-op with was busy last night. It's just like, I got to get you doing something in this game.
Yeah.
I can't have you leave if you're like not into the story anymore or the multiplayer is so difficult it kind of shoved you out of it. There's got to be something else, something Fortnite-y, something.
I was thinking Fortnite. Like, what if it has that kind of Fortnite thing where you're watching a trailer and then it goes straight into gameplay?
Sure.
The first time you boot up Halo Infinite, that'd be so cool.
Just crazy events like Final Fantasy 14, where it's just like the world events. I forget what they're called. Fates,
Right.
just something where you jump in. What's going on? Oh, this thing. Okay, that was fun.
It probably ain't called Infinite for the lighthouses.
No, yeah.
Right. Yeah, I'd really look forward to them having some kind of pipeline to make a campaign that's similar to how Fortnite rolls things out.
It's been so long. Do you hear that?
I do.
It sounds like it's podcast halftime.
Woo-wee! The following is an official sponsor of Easy Allies. Look around you. It's a wireless world, and everyone needs a great pair of wireless earbuds. But before you go dropping hundreds of dollars on a pair, you need to check out the wireless earbuds from Raycon. You already know Raycon earbuds start at about half the price of any other premium wireless earbuds on the market, and that they sound just as amazing as other top audio brands you know. And Raycon's latest model, E25, is their best one yet, with 6 hours of playtime, seamless Bluetooth pairing, more bass, and a more compact design that gives you a nice noise-isolating fit. Raycon's wireless earbuds are so comfortable, perfect for on-the-go listening and for taking phone calls. I'm bringing these on the walk with Sophie. I've been going, I don't like the jingle of I never did that before. I was like, I'll just play some Galaxy of Heroes. I'll just check Twitter. It's fine. I don't need to listen to stuff. But I've tried out a couple of wireless buds, and these are, definitely synced right away with the Bluetooth. And it's just nice listening to Spotify, taking Sophie on a walk.
Are you listening to music or podcasts?
Listen to music. Got the Spotify rolling.
Give me one album you're listening to.
The thing that I like about Spotify, it's not a specific album. This is Radiohead.
Right, yes.
It's the playlist I'm doing right now. I'm going on a little Radiohead journey. Yeah.
This is the thing
Because
actually.
Radiohead's the kind of band where it's just like I'll be like, yep, this song, that's a classic. And they're like, what? Whoa, I missed that
for
song.
sure, yeah.
It's like, oh, it's from their first album. Oh, crazy. But it's really nice. The only catch is it's got the noise isolating, so you got to just make sure when you're crossing the street, you just got to look both ways because it's so easy to get completely wrapped up and absorbed in your own world. because Sophie's not going to check for me, that's for sure. Unlike some of your other wireless options, Raycon earbuds are both stylish and discreet, with no dangling wires or stems. You've heard me talk about how the company was co-founded by Ray J. You've heard me talk about that. And celebrities like your buddy Snoop Dogg and Cardi B are obsessed with Raycons. Pick up a pair and see what the hype is all about. Now, it's time to get the latest and greatest from Raycon. Get 15% off of your order at buyraycon.com/allies. That's buyraycon.com/allies for 15% off Raycon wireless earbuds. buyraycon.com/allies. And if you are a patron of patreon.com/easyallies, thank you.
Whew.
Podcast halftime.
That was fun, Jones. That
been a
energy.
while.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, that was like just a peak. There was one last thing I realized we should talk about before moving on from this stuff.
Okay.
Michael Damiani, we got to talk about this. Nintendo denying the existence of a new Switch model in the year 2020.
Yeah.
Do you believe?
All right. So I just want to say this.
Okay.
About I believe what they're saying could be truthful. This was a statement from Furukawa. This was in the latest
president.
briefing. This is what we were
Yes.
just talking about
Yeah.
before podcast halftime.
Yeah.
Was not in the Q&A session. This was in the actual presentation part of it. So the presentation to the investors, like, there is no new console this year. It's not coming in 2020. No. Usually it comes in the QA or comes in some kind of posting. And like people think that might have like, oh, they're just lying and stuff. They can still be lying here. Listen. Just when it comes when we're talking about new Smash character rumors, where the supposed direct that we've been waiting for, it's stop going by historical patterns when it comes to Nintendo. Just because they did something for X amount of times in the past doesn't mean they're going to do it that way in 2020 or in the future. Is Furukawa telling the truth? Who knows? But you know what? These rumors are also just what they are. Rumors. New Switch Pro coming mid-2020. 4K capable Switch coming early next year. Who knows which of those are true? But like, stop taking them as truth and like, don't get so upset when one of them doesn't, like, what you put your chips into doesn't pay off. It's like, that's how it works. And Nintendo, it prides themselves on doing the unexpected when it comes to this stuff. So like this happens all the time. Like it's like trying to maybe trying to teach a kid a lesson about something you know as an adult, and like you're gonna be so disappointed at this. Please just listen to me. You're like,
calling our viewers children.
Damiani is the adult in the
Yeah,
room
and you're
right
calling
now.
all of our
like you
children.
gotta let them make the mistake. You gotta let them make the mistake and learn the life lesson. Then nothing you say to them will get through to them.
Yeah.
The Byleth lesson, I call it.
Yes,
Yes,
the
the
Byleth
Byleth
lesson.
lesson.
That's a very, very good term, Jones.
Right, everybody expecting
Well, I mean,
Dante
it's
got Byleth. Yeah.
I mean, it's a new console year, so is this just a counter to that? Is that what they mean by console? Like that Xbox Series X, that PlayStation 5, we're not doing that this year. That is not 2024 Nintendo. And why should it be? Mario Kart 8 is still huge. Bayonetta 3 hasn't happened yet.
Yeah.
There's still more Smash characters coming. We have already have a trailer for Breath of the Wild 2. Like there's so many. Metroid.
They just
we're
had their best
waiting
quarter
on.
ever. Yeah. Why?
Animal Crossing's coming. Like I just think there's a lot of. We have the DLC for Pokemon this year. Like there's so many things that we know are like, how is that not going to sell? And that's not really a brand new, exciting, crazy thing that we didn't know about a year or two ago. We've known about that stuff for a while. It's just going to happen. Sales are so good on that system.
That's
They
kind
don't
of
need
that's kind of what the thing happened. Is I bet this was part of the plan. The rumors wouldn't exist this hard otherwise. And I mean, they got their data in. They're like, oh, we're still doing good. Switch has legs, baby. And they're like, why do that now? I 100% agree with that.
Exactly. That's a good. I think that's a good point. Yeah, we wondered. There's been like a lot of people wondering whether or not they need to even do new hardware to counter the new systems, or if a strong software lineup. The thing is, we don't know what they have at the end of this year yet. So, like, there's obviously a lot of people are going to speculate. But I do think if they have a strong enough software lineup going into those new consoles, especially if it's even as Breath of the Wild 2, I think is big enough. But if they had anything else on there from the like long list of games people are speculating going to happen, I think that Switch will have, or Nintendo will have, a very good holiday season this year. I don't think they need that new hardware. I think whatever they can doing, I don't even know if they need a Switch Pro at this point. I would personally rather them go and like spend the time working on a Switch 2 successor, like a year or two out from now.
I mean, going back to initial talks about how they're going to shift their hardware platform, I think it's whatever you call it, like it's still going to be compatible with this whole Yeah, but the software they have now.
Let me clarify. When I say Switch 2, a much more powerful upgrade, because a majority of the rumors, there's that 4K capable rumor, who knows if it's true, but a majority of the rumors say incremental upgrade.
Yeah.
I don't want that. I want something that...
You're willing to wait a couple more years.
I'm willing to wait another year or two to get
Yeah.
something that is it's not even, we're not even an incremental. We're not even talking about PS4 to PS4 Pro or Xbox One to Xbox One X.
Damiani wants substantial upgrades.
We're talking like 3DS to new 3DS is what people are talking about when they say incremental for Switch to Switch Pro.
And you want Game Boy Advance to Nintendo DS. That's what you want.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I want that. I want the power and, maybe the innovation.
The power and the
Depends
innovation.
on the innovation. As long as it's not motion controls, but, you know.
I'm done with
that's me.
Joy-Cons, man. I'm done with them.
You're done with them.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's the thing. I think whatever we get will be more. Yeah, it'll be a more powerful thing that still works with all your Joy-Cons, still works with all your things.
Oh
that you
yeah,
have
they'll
right
be
now.
they'll be
I
foolish
think
to
you're right.
abandon
Yeah.
anything.
Yeah.
And the one thing as well, I think whatever they do, they have to be really careful about making sure that everything carries up to it. But everything that's older possibly as a way to play downgraded versions of whatever, because once you have something can only be played on like the Switch Pro or Switch, whatever they call it, and no longer played on OG Switch, forget Switch Lite, you've got that divide now. And then
I don't see that jump happening for a long time. It is not broke. Don't fix it
And
at
what
all.
Kyle just said,
and it's interesting. And I think that's kind of what Microsoft is maybe trying to communicate with the whole series thing. We have a series, but we just have one of the series so far, even when the series was announced.
Yeah.
I think that's the play for Nintendo. I think, like just play it like iPhones now, and just every year we get a little bit better. Every 2 years we get that, because like Mario Kart 8's like Candy Crush. It's like it doesn't matter what I play this on, really. For me to be excited, have fun with my kids, play with my friends. Yeah. I just don't see. Yeah, it's just gonna be interesting. It's the best Nintendo console I think I've owned, as far as like really how much joy I've gotten in so many different situations out of it, and so many. It's the first time in a Nintendo lineup, in a lineage of consoles, that I'm not like, oh, I can't wait till this is outdone. It's like, this is great. Please just keep doing this. I would so much rather have the Switch be underpowered 1 year than have you go in some weird direction that you got to fix 3 or 4 years later.
Sure.
Because you took some huge risk.
Like the Wii U.
This worked out. Yeah, this worked out so well.
Yeah.
Even some weird name like Switch U or Switch Plus or I don't know.
Okay.
Something that denotes like, oh no, it's we fixed the Switch. Like it's not a thing that needs to be fixed.
All of these rumors, to me, it always seems like, well, because you know how like even Sony and Microsoft do this too, I think, where they like find a way to get cheaper components and they like put out the new version, but it's not like a Slim even, it's just like the 2.0 or whatever. Like all of these rumors just have always seemed like, oh yeah, they're gonna get a little better processor and like a different OLED screen or something because it's cheaper, and they're gonna fix the antenna and the Joy-Cons and whatever. But it leaked, so everyone got their hopes up. Because I'm kind of in Damiani's camp. It's like, don't even publicize it if you're just doing an iteration. Like, well, put out a press release, but like, don't make it like a thing. Unless it is like a huge boost.
And I'd say they did that. The regular old Switch has a slightly longer battery life right now. And
Right.
They
They
didn't say
did
a
that
thing
once
about
already,
it.
right?
Yeah, they
Yeah.
did.
Yeah.
They did? They said this has slightly longer battery?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
That was the new
But not
SKU
like in a
stuff.
direct.
Oh no,
Yes,
no, no!
exactly.
Yeah, it wasn't. It was not. It was
Right,
announced with no
right,
fanfare.
right.
It was
Yes.
just casually mentioned, like,
That's
oh yeah,
the way
there
to
is
do
a-
it.
Yeah.
And exactly, I agree with that.
The
Yeah.
typical consumer shouldn't know they're getting the Switch, quote unquote pro. Like they shouldn't know they're getting the newest Switch because they don't care. They just want, they just want it to work the way it works,
Just wanna
right?
play those games. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's time for This Week in Joker news. This one's really sad. This week, the Joker glued some money onto the sidewalk, and then he filmed people trying to pick it up, and then he put that on his YouTube channel.
It's a classic.
Yeah.
He must have done it in a different town. He got like a cease and desist from the cops
Yeah.
for doing that before.
I'm surprised
I
you
think
did the
it's so
fishing
sad.
line. That's usually a better yoink, rather than the.
Jones, is this humorous to you?
No, it could be more humorous. That's what I'm saying. The glue wasn't, seeing the.
You think it'd be funny to make a video where you're
'Cause
just taking?
I think
somebody-
you go for the glue, Bill, and then the moment it doesn't come off the ground, you're like, well, I don't want to deal with this now. Whereas if it just scoots away just a little bit, yeah, I'll walk 2-3 more feet to try to get that
No,
$5
it's wrong.
bill.
I don't think you understand why this is wrong. Like, just think about this economically, Jones. Think about what it means to spark up, like, oh, there's $20. I could use this $20, and then you yank it away from someone,
Yeah.
and then you put that on YouTube.
I've seen kids like go into like markets though and like pick up just a gallon of milk and like throw it at people. Like there's a worse things you can do. You know what I mean? The haha you didn't get that $5 bill is not It's pretty low.
I'm sure the Joker's thrown some milk in his time.
Yeah.
How does this compare? How did it compare view-wise to his other videos on his channel, though? Is this a new channel or is
Dude,
this?
it's spiked. He hasn't uploaded in a long time. Didn't matter. 1.2.
Yeah, isn't that weird when you find, they got millions of subscribers, no header.
Yeah.
Just the last video was 8 months ago, and you're just like, how do they do it?
I do have bad news for the Joker fans. Next week's episode is episode 200 of the Easy Allies podcast.
Nice.
Yeah, unfortunately, that means we have to retire This Week in Joker News. So next week will be the last This Week in Joker News.
Oh, no. He's going to do something terrible, and you're going to have to bite your lip. You're going to want to report it so bad. It's going to be the worst thing he's ever done. Specifically for this podcast.
2 weeks. Yeah.
In 2
Announce
weeks.
a new game.
As we are.
I guess-
Just under Batman in
He
terms
probably will
of his grand
announce it.
nemesis list.
Make the Easy Allies do the one thing they would never do. Yeah. It is now time for Love and Respect.
Love and respect.
We have a lot of good stuff. A lot of challenging. People are calling us out.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Not that one. Okay. All right.
We're not going to do them, but they're
call-outs.
mad.
Yeah. No, I mean, maybe after this one. You got to open up with one. Here we go. I like this one. Greetings, allies. I've been a big fan and longtime listener since your days at Game Trailers. Now, I understand that you guys must get these a lot. But my comment is regarding your Pop-Tarts and toaster strudels for the month, for the games of January.
Yep.
As someone who loves VR games and follows many different YouTubers who don't, I'm already prepared to hear the worst comments possible about games that I'm already excited about. What surprised me the most was a comment made by the hype man himself, Michael Huber, who is quickly shutting down The Walking Dead Saints and Sinners from only watching one trailer. At first, I thought it was my own bias, because I got hands-on at Comic-Con and loved how the interactivity, like pushing walkers into another or to make them trip up, or actually having to jam your weapon in to kill them, and also having to grab onto the walker's head to jam out a weapon from their skulls. The reviews are out. And it has been getting very positive receptions.
Nice.
So it doesn't seem like I was the only one who felt that way. After spending more time with it, now that it's finally out, it quickly went into my top 5 VR games and also top survival game overall. Now, I know everyone is super hyped about Half-Life Alyx, and I am as well, but I think that's just the property, right? In the reveal trailer, there wasn't anything shown that was out of the ordinary, that hasn't already been done already in VR. You can manually reload guns, scavenge for ammo, and interact with the environment in countless VR games. It just sucks to me that games like Saints and Sinners, Stormland, and Asgard's Wrath thrown out into the cold because they are VR games and also not from a recognizable gaming IP. My question is, what do VR developers need to do better in their trailers to get more attention and better reception from gamers? Is it impossible because you actually need to be behind a headset and hold the controllers in your hands? Love and respect, Renzo. Whew. So that's a long one. I love that it comes around to this question. Renzo's not even blaming us. Renzo's blaming that trailer. How do you make a VR trailer that really pops, that really stands out from the others, that makes people as excited as they are for?
I think it's
Alyx?
kind of weird because in a sense, they're kind of right in that like you sort of need to get in the headset because sort of the nature of VR and the nature of you putting yourself into VR is like, yeah, it's like you're immersed in this thing, right? Mm-hmm. But if you film this, you're not a stuntman. You're awkward dude.
Yeah, and I mean,
VR
VR
like you're
footage
moving around like, where's the thing? We're like, oh, okay, I think I got it. Oh, I dropped it. Oh, it's just like
it tends to be shaky and awkward. I think that's fair. I think when you use direct footage in VR trailers, it sometimes can be a detriment.
I think the way I have a couple of thoughts actually.
Sure.
I think the way trailers aren't for the people that already have VR stuff. The trailers are for people to get people in, which I think is a nearly impossible task because the barrier to entry to VR is so costly.
yeah.
But like, I think that this who wrote in is totally right because I think the way to do it is you do like the kitchen or a PT or something where you put out a little teaser, a playable teaser in VR that maybe people don't even know what it is. It's free. It's like 10, 15 minutes. And it's a taste of your game, So then you get the people who already have VR in. But as far as a trailer for people who don't have VR, like that's a bigger fish to fry. I think like ain't no Walking Dead game gonna get someone to drop $1,000 on.
You know what really doesn't do it
Vive.
for me is these commercials where it's reality.
Oh,
Right.
And it's like, hey, stop doing that. Whatever reality. It's like, whatever commercial. Ooh.
Right, yeah, that's a very 90s mentality.
Oh,
But
man, yeah.
The other thing I would say is I think that Walking Dead in this case, and compared to Half-Life Alyx, and they were right to point out that other games have done the things that the trailer for Alyx is touting. It's kind of like the burden of history is on Alyx, and the lack of expectation is going to help the Walking Dead because, like, you know, everyone's kind of like the series isn't at its best right now, maybe,
Yeah.
and like everyone's like expectations are low, so the game is going to surprise them. Whereas Half-Life Alyx has to be the greatest game ever made, or everyone's going to be like, bleh, you know.
Right.
So it's like in this case, this game might come out. I mean, obviously not going to sell as much, but might be received better.
Yeah, I think Walking Dead and one of the issues is like it's been a franchise that hasn't really it hasn't held to an expectation of quality, right? Like it's had really high parts of its media across the board, right? It's had really great games, but then it's had just games that are just automatically you look at that and like, okay, well this is just a licensed cash-in. I don't care. You know, here's your zombie face, you know, and like some of these things are good, some of these things are bad. So it's like until you get some of that feedback off of something like Saints and Sinners, you're kind of like left in the dark of, well, I don't know if I trust the Walking Dead brand to give me a good video game.
And here's where I'm going to reiterate the Doc Brown Spider Monster theory. I think if you have a Doc Brown Spider Monster at the end of a Walking Dead trailer, that's where you get attention. Here's my pitch. At the end of the trailer, you have the title reveal, Saints and Sinners. And you hang on Sinners for a second.
Oh, no.
Camera's up. You see a zombie. The player kisses the zombie.
Oh, my gosh.
I'd play that.
Yeah. And even if you hate it, you're tweeting about it.
Yeah.
Show the player kissing a zombie.
Or there's like a big neon sign, the zombies inside, and there's like a sexy zombie out front.
Yes.
And you're like, wait,
Yes.
I got it. I have to go in there.
Now I need to. Yeah, because I did watch the trailer, and it is kind of a bland trailer. Yeah.
Yeah. Unfortunately, you're all wrong.
Okay, please.
Basically, no, I'm just kidding. But I mean, it's.
opinion yell?
I have.
You're all wrong.
No one's buying VR in 2020. As much as I love trailers and as much as I want to believe that there is a nuance that you can bring to advertising that will edge something out ahead of something else, even though there's expectations or even though some stuff can just carry on a brand forever and have tons of people buy it. VR trailers are like Volvo trailers. If you're not in the market for a Volvo, it doesn't matter. It doesn't. Like I always used to crack up and I'd be driving around, and it's how I feel now about stuff for kids. You know, it's like none of that works for the other four people in this podcast right now. If they were like, you know, this brand of pacifier or diaper or sleep aid or whatever, you're like, cool. I'm just tuned out of this commercial. Where I'm like, oh, that does sound like a value now. Suddenly in 2020, I'm actually like in the market for some of these things. And if you're not in the market to buy a car, you're just kind of gonna laugh at car trailers. You might say one car trailer is better than the other one, but if like, you know, and it's just on completely aside from that, I'm not surprised.
Self-parking trailer though, Jones. The
Self-parking trailer, no. I mean, you'd be amused
You'll
by them, but
know.
it's not. You're not then gonna decide. It's just like the moment you decide, I need a new car. Now all of a sudden your ears are open. Now your eyes are, you know, open. Now you're actually absorbing all of that stuff. But I think honestly, it's like, you know, from all the actual shopping I have done for the Oculus, for the Vive, it comes completely down to that store. It just comes down to like, okay, now that I'm actually doing it, you know, service that sells games, tell me what you got. It's not like, wait, let me go watch some trailers. Like, no, I'm just going to see what's available right now. And then just kind of what pops out, what seems interesting to me. If I played one game that works really well, I'll look at other things. I'm a big fan of archery. I was like, all right, archery games in VR, what do you got? And there was like 1 out of 40 that looked even remotely good. You know, the rest were like, okay, I don't know if I really want to download that and go through a menu and try out the tutorial and that, you know, really spend some time with it.
You do feel captive in a bad VR game.
Yeah.
You know, I want out of here. Yeah.
So I think all that you know, Walking Dead needs to do is just let you know it exists. And so later you're like, I'm in the mood for a zombie game. Oh, Walking Dead. It's just that it's sadly that basic.
Yeah, I think
in terms of like
to add on to that, the thing that VR needs as an ad, the only thing that can be an ad for VR is stuff like Half-Life Alyx, where it's like such a killer app.
Right.
That's the thing that's going to make new people buy in.
Yeah.
But Jones is totally right. Like if you haven't bought in by now, it's going to take the Half-Life Alyxes of the world. Like few people are going to buy a index for Walking Dead Saints and Sinners, I think.
True. This is a scoop. This next one is a scoop that I'm really excited about. This is from Eric Faust. I live in Cary, NC. A detail to remember for later. By the way, when I was hooked.
I'm on the edge of my seat now.
When I'm I'm reading through 100
There will
of these.
be a test.
Right. I live in Cary, NC. A detail to remember for later. I'm like, okay, all right. So one day, out of utterly undirected curiosity, I decided to check out what my local government has been doing for me lately.
Don't know.
And track down the mayor's personal website. On his website, he blogs about his various mayoral responsibilities, like working on miscellaneous town council and boards, handing out government employee of the month style awards, or developing economic plans together with various local businesses.
SimCity vibes.
Now, Cary, North Carolina, for those of you who may not know, has a certain local business by the name of Epic Games. So, in the mayor's December 8th, 2019 post, he mentioned how Epic Games has updated their town economic development committee that, after some deliberation, they have decided to remain in Cary and even expand by beginning construction on a new building directly next to their existing office buildings to help house the 1,700 new employees they expect to hire. Cross-referencing that 1,700 number against Wikipedia's Epic Games employee count of 1,000. Remembering that many of these new employees will not be developers, i.e. HR, sales, etc., this still sounds like a huge deal. Think of all the dances. My question to the panel is, what's the weirdest source you've ever encountered for your video game news?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, job postings.
My mom giving
Sure.
me newspaper clipping.
She had a scoop?
Every now and then,
Yeah.
She'll just come in, She doesn't know really what it's referencing, but it just said it came across her path, and the scissors actually clip, fold it up, put it in an envelope, hand it to me. I'm like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
interesting. Couldn't remember one of them.
Yes, of
'Cause
course.
there's, we get our news all the time from a bunch of different sources, but I was really appreciative of that. Thanks, Mom.
Yeah, obviously, I think that
know.
question at the end is like too hard to answer. Really, I picked that because the story is so fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually, I did several years back. One of like our technical producers at church, he used to be like into the Halo scene and all of that stuff, and so he had a bunch of contacts with like Astro headsets and all these different people, as well as contacts with like Sony cameras and everything. But he was telling me that like, Xbox was doing all this work on backwards compatibility and stuff, and like I didn't believe him. And then and then they came out and revealed all that stuff. I was like, oh, okay, he was right about that.
You didn't believe him. That's very funny. I love that story, actually. So, in the conversation, one-on-one, you were just kind of like, or did you tell this person, I don't believe you?
It's so long ago that I don't remember. Like,
Okay.
it was one of
But
those
he
things
could
that
have
like
said, "I don't
I
believe
wasn't
you."
100% dismissive, but at the same time, I was like, you just take it with a grain of salt,
For sure.
because like, who is he
We hear a lot
hearing
of
it
nonsense.
from?
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
I wonder when you got such a big whale in your state, like Epic, specifically Fortnite. I wonder if you kind of, as a politician, downplay it. Just like, well, I hear Fortnite leads to, young kids wanting to, have violence in their lives, and just like, no, I'm not hearing that.
Oh, for sure. Yes.
Don't you dare say anything bad against Fortnite.
Yes.
Fortnite is pure gold. Family
1,700
entertainment, darn it.
employees moving to Cary, North Carolina. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wonder if it's a little scary. I mean, with Fortnite on a little decline right now,
Yeah.
if it is scary to be expanding while your game is shrinking.
Sure.
But they are overworked
You got
as
that
it is
money,
right
spend
now.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They need
Spend it while
that.
you got it.
All right, let's play a very quick game. Extremely quick game. Kiss, Marry, Kill is what we're playing.
Ooh.
Okay.
Yep.
This would seem like such an obvious game. I'm surprised we don't play this. more
We've never
often.
played Kiss, Marry, Kill.
All right.
Should we make it hump?
No.
Okay, all right, okay, all right, okay, all right. All right. So this comes from Tushar Kumar. All right, so we're going to go, it's not everybody gets to pick. We're going to go in order, so Jones will take you first.
Oh, cool.
Shadow Jago from Killer Instinct. It's like the main character is like a purple version of him.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Dark Samus from Metroid. And Evil Ryu from Street Fighter.
Okay. I'll marry Dark Samus.
Okay.
I'm gonna kiss Ryu, and I'm gonna kill the guy from Killer Instinct. 'Cause
Okay.
that's, you know,
Here's the thing.
that sounds like the worst threat I think amongst them.
Dark Samus doesn't speak.
Yeah, but this guy's got my back. You know, that's a bond that we're making. That's a contractual.
Dark Samus
engagement.
is at least highly intelligent.
Right.
Okay, all right, fine.
Yeah.
At least.
It's a business arrangement.
Bloodworth.
That's just we're exchanging rings. That's as serious as that's getting.
Marcus Phoenix from Gears of War. Phoenix Wright from Ace Attorney.
Oh.
And Phoenix from the Marvel Universe.
Ooh,
Oh,
this is easy.
it's sort of easy, I think, but I don't know if I have the same agreement as
Control Phoenix.
as Ian. But yeah, kill Phoenix.
Too much power.
That's a kiss. That's an obvious
an
kiss.
easy kiss.
That's an easy kiss.
Too much power. Too much
Okay,
power.
all right.
It's too scary.
All right.
It's too much to risk.
favorite
I don't know if
axiom.
killing Phoenix actually takes, but you know,
It's a phoenix.
it might be a bad
luck.
idea. And then I kiss Marcus and marry Phoenix Wright.
Okay.
At least you married the right one.
Yeah. All right, Damiani. Lara Croft from Tomb Raider. Mai from King of Fighters. And Tifa Lockhart from Final Fantasy VII. What's the common thread there?
Yeah. Which Lara Croft?
From Tomb Raider. So Tomb Raider 1.
OG Tomb Raider.
OG Tomb
Ooh.
Raider. Yeah.
Well,
What's the common?
yeah, what's the comment? Probably killed that Lara Croft. That's pretty dangerous.
Okay.
Very pixelated, so
Sure.
you gotta be careful there.
Yeah.
Sharp
Understandable.
edges.
Yeah.
God.
Yikes.
Sharp edges.
Yikes. Dangerous. And sorry, it was Tifa and who else?
Mai.
Mai from King of Fighters.
Let's do kiss Mai and marry Tifa.
Yeah, I think that's about
Yeah.
right. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mai's still a ninja. Ian,
Uh-oh. I'm not going to know like two of these, am I?
Was Mai the one that didn't go into Smash Brothers?
you're going to know these.
Mai, that was
Because it's
the
for good
main
boys
right,
and
okay.
girls.
Yeah.
Dr.
Good call.
Eggman from Sonic.
Okay.
Dr. Angela Ziegler, a.k.a. Mercy from Overwatch.
Oh.
Yeah.
Dr. Mario.
Oh, easy. You kiss Dr. Mario long and passionately. You marry Mercy,
Oh.
and you kill Eggman.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
gotta
kill Eggman. I
man.
thought you married
shoot
Doctor.
him
You marry a
hundreds of
doctor.
times.
You know,
Yeah.
it's always.
She's a doctor too, Jones. They're all doctors.
Is she real? Okay, I gotta get in my lore.
We're over, but I want to keep playing this. Jones.
Okay.
Clank from Ratchet and Clank.
Okay.
Daxter from Jack and Daxter. Kazooie from Banjo-Kazooie.
Kill Daxter.
Yeah.
No hesitation.
Yeah. Even if that wasn't the game, it's just kill that creature.
Jones, no.
Kill Daxter. Kiss Clank. Marry Kazooie.
That seems right.
Kazooie's a lifelong partner.
Yeah. Blood. Jinx from League of Legends. Junkrat from Overwatch. Bomberman from Bomberman. Are these all bomb people?
Yeah.
Okay.
They must.
All right.
This is Jinx, if you need to remember who Jinx.
So she's like Harley Quinn.
She's Harley Quinn, basically.
Okay.
I don't know if your personalities would mesh.
Very thoughtful.
Jinx, Junkrat, and what was the third one?
Bomberman.
Bomberman.
Yeah.
Like, I think you and Junkrat
Yeah.
could hang.
Yeah. Really? I
Huh?
just-
I do.
Yeah,
I,
yeah, yeah.
I think if you want advice, I would marry Junkrat.
Yeah. I could see you and Junkrat kicking back a beer, you know?
Okay. I'll take your word for
I
it.
appreciate how much
Yeah.
thought you're
I
giving this
don't. Well,
blood.
I
Yeah.
got two that I have very little reference for.
How could you kill Bomberman though?
Yeah.
Like, literally, physically, how?
Power Man's
He's
in
fragile.
danger of
Yeah, I
killing
guess
himself
I
for
guess
those
like-
days.
It's only a matter of time.
Kill Jinx, kiss Bomberman, and marry Junkrat.
I think that's
on
about right,
Ian's recommendation. But like, I feel like Bomberman, like he's such a cutie. Like you might just like kiss him regardless, right? Get a little
Oh yeah, exactly.
like kiss on the forehead.
he
or
walks
something.
into the room. I'm
Oh.
kissing
Yeah.
that forehead.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. Okay. Ooh, this one's fun, Damiani. Cloud Strife from Final Fantasy VII, Squall Leonhardt from Final Fantasy VIII, and Noctis Lucis Calum
my
from
God.
Final Fantasy
Straight to
15.
Noctis.
Sophie's choice.
Yeah,
here for
these are
dummy, huh?
wow.
So this is OG Cloud,
Yes.
like his appearance.
Oh my gosh! Just
That's
don't talk
another
about
Lara Croft.
freaking polygons again.
No polygons.
Those
I'm
hair,
talking
that hair though,
about,
that's a
the
dangerous
art,
hair.
The art.
But it's a remake, so he's been remade in reality.
What?
Right?
So
it
is Lara
depends
Croft,
on how
though.
you think about it.
Oof. This is hard.
Yeah.
Those hands,
This is really hard.
those cloud hands.
This is really hard.
Could they love you?
No, don't think about the Cloud hands. He looks good in cutscenes.
You think the cutscenes? He's got the.
No,
hands
he
in
looks good in
cutscenes.
cutscenes. He looks good.
He looks great in cutscenes.
He's got
still
fingers.
has those hands.
He's got fingers in cutscenes.
Yeah. I feel
We
bad.
stumped him.
I'm thinking it's between Cloud and Squall who I'm gonna kill.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's hard.
Squall's younger. It's a little effed up to kill the student, you know?
Yeah, and didn't I just like marry Tifa, so I gotta kill Cloud.
Yes, you do.
I gotta kill Cloud.
Yes, you have to. You have to
Won't work
because you married
out.
Tifa.
Won't work out.
Okay. So
Um,
then you're giving Squall a little smooch.
I don't know. Maybe I marry Squall.
He's a student. He's broke.
Oh yeah, how young is Squall?
You know what? I don't know. I don't know how young
Yeah.
Squall
Gonna
is.
marry royalty, bro.
Yeah, you got to marry Noctis. This is not a
Yeah,
question.
I get to ride in the regalia.
Yes.
I'm taking the regalia for a ride.
Yes.
I'm marrying Noctis. There you go. Absolutely.
Squall is 17, so you made the right choice.
Yes. All right.
Just don't tell Noctis about Squall.
Just a little kiss on the cheek.
That'll be a little secret to this podcast.
All right, Ian, last one.
Congratulations, Damiani, by the way. That's a good catch.
Yeah. Mega Man, Rayman, Pac-Man.
Oh, baby. I marry Rayman because I
Ooh.
love Rayman.
Okay.
Aww.
Oh, boy. I kiss Pac-Man,
Ooh.
and I think I kill Mega Man because I've always thought that there's like a hidden darkness to Mega Man where he like
What if he's hacked?
yeah well he's like one of those robots where he's like, why was I programmed how to feel pain? You know, he's like
Yeah.
the whole time there's like a darkness to him where he's
Put him
like
out of his
kind
misery?
Yeah, put him out of his misery, right?
Yeah. It's fair.
I'm looking up how old Noctis is. Oh, he's 20. He's all
Yeah,
right.
Noctis
Yeah,
is
yeah.
that's an
We're all
adult
right,
right
we're all
there.
right.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
marrying age.
It's time for bets. We should never play that game again.
Once every 4 years, we can play that. And somewhere in episode 299, we'll play that again.
back.
Send that along for love, respect. 199 episodes from now. 200
Okay.
episodes from now.
The Dark Crystal Age of Resistance Tactics will be released February 4th. How long will the credits be? Brandon Jones.
3 minutes and 10 seconds.
Daniel Bloodworth.
6 minutes and 34 seconds.
Michael Damiani.
3 minutes and 21 seconds.
Ooh, edged him out.
Wow. I'm going 3 minutes, 51 seconds.
Oh.
Ian Hink.
I like it.
4 minutes 22 seconds.
Okay. Let me lock those in.
Oof.
Randy's got the low end.
I do.
We gotta talk about last week's bet, which was for Journey to the Savage Planet.
I got to beat that game.
That released Tuesday, January 28th. Pretty short, apparently.
Yeah, they.
Oh, you did look it up?
Did Mike and Mike yesterday?
No, he's
Wait, on
talking
what?
about Dark
I'm talking
Crystal.
about this.
Oh,
this game
Dark
to get
Crystal to
those
get the credits. Got it.
Unless any of y'all are playing it.
We're talking about Journey to the Savage Planet now.
Right.
Yep. I went to the top 10 most recent reviews on OpenCritic, and I asked myself and the panelists how many times I'd see the word funny. Jones, you bet 5 times.
But it was only in the context of they thought it was funny, right?
No, we took that out.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because we realized that was just cruel. Huber said 4. Brad said 6. I said 3. Ian said 6 funnies. The actual number of funnies for Journey to the Savage Planet is 5. Bullseye, baby!
Yes!
Bullseye!
On the board!
We're on the board! That brings our totals to Gorgeous Gorillas 2. Sick Owls 1. Let me talk to you about patreon.com/easyallies. That would be the website you'd want to go to if you want to learn more about the Easy Allies and how to support the Easy Allies. If you're one of the patrons who gives us $5 or more per month, we're doing a frame trap after this.
What?
You're already caught in one, Kyle.
We're doing a frame trap after this.
Just crossed your mind.
Yeah, that all makes sense.
If you give us $5 or more per month, you get this podcast 2 days early. You get it on Fridays as opposed to Sundays. And also you could submit to Love and Respect and Tough Bouncers. Before I hand the podcast over to Jones, I'm going to hand the podcast over to Jones
It's all mine now.
for the shout-outs.
Shout out to L. Thanis, Greg the Dark Knight Kettering, Caleb Togi Crawford, Will Schmuck, and Mr. One Luigi.
Shout out.
There was a lot of tension in the beginning of that one.
Yeah.
Damiani
then
held off.
He held
held.
off.
Yeah,
It took
Damiani
a
held
second
off.
for me to remember we're
Yeah,
doing
yeah.
cadence. I was like,
I'm
oh,
proud
yeah.
of you for admitting it. Good,
Yeah.
good. That's what that bit needs, though. It needs that delay.
Yeah.
Seat
The
number
suspense.
2 going, oh, right.
Yeah. Jones, you get the right and responsibility to share your Twitter handle with the world.
Yeah.
You get to promote any Easy Allies
Any.
video you would like to
Been a
promote.
while.
You get to have the final word on anything you disagreed with, want to reiterate, or just popped into your head. And you get to sign off with your trademark sign off.
You can follow me at Trailer Jones. I recommend. I'm gonna give a shout out to my boy Michael Huber. This actually isn't gonna happen for a while. Well, maybe I'll do a little both. Actually, I'm gonna do 2 videos for the price of 1.
Okay.
Prison of Love, the final episode. I was behind the camera. I actually got to watch this with Mr. Ben Moore. It's a jolly episode, but that also means Syndrome's coming back as well. Syndrome won't be for a little while.
He's taking a week off. Yep.
But just kudos to that Michael Huber for wrapping up Prison of Love and then going back to Syndrome. He's reinvigorated to get back and start doing Syndrome again. I'm just going to put this on the table right here to end it on a positive note. To say something positive, to reiterate something that I said before, I don't know. I think this is a dangerous thing to bet on, but I wish that there are so many surprises in 2020 being cooked up by Microsoft and by Sony that we are just going to be astounded. That Sony event, I don't think it will be, but that I hope and I wish and pray that Sony event is going to blow our minds. There's going to be so many new IP announcements from Microsoft. It's going to be insane. That both of those systems is going to just explode. And that even at the end of the year in 2022, we're going to be like, look at that. Nintendo also had a good year because all of these franchises just killed. Even like, look at that. Pokemon was number 4 for 2020, even just on the strength of that DLC. And that everybody wins. That's my hope. Cheers.
Should we make it hump?
The Easy Allies would like to thank our Patreon podcast producers. We apologize in advance for all the ally names we are about to misspell and mispronounce. Will Schmuck, Greg Kettering, Caleb Crawford, L. Thanis, Mr. One Luigi, Walker Hope, Nick, Mark Dalga, Bradley Spees, Dave Red, Richard G. Flowers, Paulo Costabel, Jake Musser, Jay Shee, Zachary Wingate, Jan Tyson, Dan Sebring, Sigma, Neil Bruce, Robert Stoffel, Thomas Wigginton Jr., Chum Nguyen, Discarded Digit, Ali Cat, Ethan R.C., Mick Roper, Tim O'Keefe, Damnable Nook, Andrew Reif, Happy Gaming, Miguel Rivas, Valmar, Blue Water Blue Sky, Daniel Portillo, Jose Gutierrez, Alex AI, Corey Jackson, Hayden Hargraves, Rob Bob Will, Beaten Down Brian, Matthew Pauling, G. Levin, David Wen, G. Ken, Gary James, The Banana Forklift Killer, Brad Lohman, Marcel Markov, Catherine Lai, Todd Yurkovic, Stephen Last, Candy Coated Thorns, Hitman 47, Ryan Anderson, Kelvin Hartanto, Rack, DRD 7 of 14, Matthew Holcomb, Joe Burns, Oni Blackmage, Joachim Morovuo, Gino Elite, John Santoro, Niz Klojgard, Jesper Lawson, Jordan Kirk, Yasser Kerbushi, James Vitt, Stephen Thomason, Robert Crouch, Luke Bennett, Andy Drew, Neuromod, John Burns, Rickster EXE, Brad Grenz, S-Snake 24,
Jesse Blue, Roy Sung, Mango, Richard Johnston, Michael Yao, Mark J. Betters, FantasyCritic.Games, Blue. Accounts payable, Mikhail Aniel, Rainier Dennis Bautista, Wavering Radiant, Jeffrey Ruchtenwald, Ritz 1906, Noah Weinstein, V8 Dave, Christian Hundorf, Eric Gustafson, Paul Sway, Tony Knox, Isun Chor, Christopher Santis, Strikeout NZ, Sandra and Richard Acero, David Boyarski, Faraz Rizvi, Gali Gutierrez, Adam Henry, Travis Ing, Pete Shoemaker, Reed Johnson, Manuel Thomas, Michelle Nubb, Mike Mizek Novak, Kim Monk Vonderlief Hagensen Petersen, Sean Mackey, Sun Pham, Mons Anderson, Alex Monaco, Paul Bishop, Modren, Zinterax, Kurzistav Rogowski, Marco Hernandez, Daniel Wong, Zustik, V. Kira Ray, Don Turner, Sebastian Urban, Eddie Reisner, Sebastian Trier, Adam Scherenbrock, Evan Eng, Raymond Chow, Adam, Azazel Valkyrie, Junya Motomura, Ivan Ponce, Tuttle, Bjarnar Haraldsvik, Extravaganza, Joshua Vanswall, Steve Walther, Tense George, Colin Hoylman, Barry, Cyberboa, Forrest, Eric Maynard, Chase Caldwell, Momo Rashid, Remy Loisel, Caffeine Rage, Rahiv Maharaj, Leon Keys, Chris the Pianist, Rerun, Ian Anderson, Philip Higdon, Furious Action Gamer, Nycrypt, Jai Aldiar, Robert I, Ivan Skogheim, C.S. Lewis, Ahmad Al-Rashed, Bonnie and Jason Connor, Jock, Travis Miosi, Mike Calvi, Alex Glass, The Fatty Show, Neo Bear, DanPan16, Wouter DeHaze, Malcolm Moschette, William Heaney, Not Jack, Mither Strongbeard, Jana, Repus Edud, Anthony Galvin, Shanley Ladia, Ahab, Clay Roberts, Paulkin Stirs and Stirs, Oro Gacchino, Dakota Hayes, Caleb Ledoux, The Classiest Hobo, Nasuki 211, Matt Karwoski, Liam Ahern, Jason Joint, Bunny Chen, Pete Cerny, Christopher A. Butler, Jason Shields, David Kennedy, Materia Addict, Diggles, Fabian Winkler, Arthur Henrique Chinaglia, Culinary Stud, Nuno Amaral, Magnus Rasmussen, Joel Olson, Edison S. Prada Jr., Tim Mann, Sean Rowe, Haley Hill, Jay Potter, Crediar, Mauricio Fuentes, Jesse Fish, Thorfkin, Gabriel Aberg, Chad McIntosh, Zahid Hosseini Karami, Luis Sabara, Lee Young, Alexander Zirianov, Ronka Q, Morpheus, Ryan Foster, Delisi, Sean Cornett, BM5, Ian, Santiago Carrillo, Linson Wu, General Piet, Jeff Easton, Matthew Migler, Andrew Smith, Andrew Stoke, Brandon White, Christoph Fatui, Zach Kaczynski, Chris LaRue, A Pack of Puppies, Michael Clendenan, Wenbo Shan, Hadi Ali, Aurelien Grenier, Trevor Thomas, Will Arrowwood, Michael Kozachenko, Awesome Express, Adam Lindsay, Corey Landega, Pablo Rodriguez, Timo Yeager, Nergal 131, Alec Church, Ibrahim Sozer, Fabragundum, Mike Hook 1, Carl Williams, Gustav Strombohm, Volker Bach, Russell Bateman, Lindsay Wells, Jason I, Christoph Packlinger, Rickard Enbaum, James Vest, Nefertiti Jenkins, Tyler Wallace, Joe Rutsky, Kyle Quintero, Jesse Vitelli, Jonathan and Amy Alconas, Quinn Riley, JC3, Jack Cullen, Logan Young, Vishal Singh, Paul Nolson, Isaac Swanson, Jameson Lapine, Max His Shame Turman, Jethrin, Breadroll Art, Matt Ford, Joey Din, Splontot, Jordan Phillips, Ryan Wagner, Matthias Clare, Spencer Stevens, Vilar, Jeffrey Murillo, Kevin Camposano, Trizac, Matt Ferguson, Jake in Japan, Sam Sorensen, Vincent Foliat, Aaron Kirk, Madman Kevin, Michael Baloney, Michael Pliskin, Andy Marks, Tim Strothman, XWF Outlaw, Julius Garcia, Alex Lavanier, Gon Kef, Joel Short, Dimitri Zetas, Ulf himself, Mazrim Tame, Ganzak 009, David, Helen Y, Jameson Anderson, Daniel Fuchs, Circean Studios, Migaz, David Halverson, Travis Gakowski, J Kim 7VK, Megadet, Bard 91, Sneaky Gato, William Haman, Blake Bonsack, W Crusher, Lion Crown 19, Tom Masterman, Jojo Denko, ZK, Ryan Ponder, Mac Reed, Jose Carlos Madrigal, Mr. Anarchy, Thomas Blaine Fauchereau, Andreas Risberg, Krister Lundmark, Anti-Ataraxia, Dreams of Caffeine, Michael Bisegli, Natabia Ross, Matthew Holmes, Alexander McEachern, Silent Consonant, Rob Middledorp, Jenny Markula, Nathaniel Austin, Raymond Lee, Allison Burt, Trenton Robison, Lars Berger, Marcel Guru 17 Froelich, Tristan Howard, Andrew, Matthew Eden.